Good afternoon. In the morning session, we discussed about creating this platform so that I have mentioned in the morning that the aim of international forum on global faith is to create a platform for dialogue which is constructive, cooperative interaction between people of different faith and spiritual beliefs. The aim is to increase tolerance and cooperation. Using the word of former Minister of Singapore is harmony. How we achieve harmony in thought, words, and action in this platform. That is the main aim. Just harmony in thought is called tolerance. Tolerance, I take it from Declaration of Principles of Tolerance proclaimed by UNESCO in 1995. That should be our code of conduct here, to arrive at tolerance in accordance with the principles proclaimed by UNESCO. UNESCO defines tolerance as respect, acceptance, and appreciation of the rich diversity of our world's cultures, our forms of expression, and ways of being human. This is an example of tolerance. A colorful meeting. Try to understand, appreciate the values of the other. In the morning, we appreciate the dragon dance to welcome us. We, with patience, listen to each other, try to understand the values from other religious and spiritual faith. So the aim is not just tolerance, appreciation, that is in thought, because tolerance is about the thought, but what we need more from this platform is cooperation or harmony in words and action. How can we arrive at harmony or cooperation? We have to find a common goal. In spite of our differences in beliefs and values sometimes, we overcome our differences, try to arrive at the same goal. For example, in this meeting, we want to fight against the challenge in world crisis. Or in other case, we aim at working together for achieving SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals set by the United Nations. So with this goal, we work together to achieve that. So now we come to cooperation in terms of global crisis. Global crisis need our forum to work together. Oh. By world crisis, I mean events that have widespread and far-reaching impacts, affecting multiple regions, countries, or even continents simultaneously. In the morning, I talk about the spread of pandemic coronavirus. It's example of world crisis. But the thing that we need to meet the challenge here is that the nature of world crisis is interconnected. It includes social, economic, and environmental problems in a global scale. One nation alone, or even religious or spiritual faith alone, cannot meet the challenge. We have to come together, doing something together. That's why we need to prioritize our projects. Which kind of world crisis that we want to combat to meet the challenge? Because there are so many issues related to world crisis, depending on your geography. In Western Europe, your main concern will be war and conflict. In Africa, it is about economic inequalities. Or the whole world facing climate change. So many things to do. We have to devote our limited resources to particular goal. Which one that you want to deal with? Pandemics like coronavirus, health emergencies, or economic crisis, or conflict and security crisis, climate change, or environmental crisis. Which one that you find is in the list of your priority that you want to deal with? To respond to the crisis, we have to pull together, that is contribution from religious and spiritual system that we have with us here. First, I think we need combination, or I use the term integration of the wisdom. From our experience in convening international conference in the Day of Vesak in Bangkok this year, we invite the scholars to contribute how to meet the challenge of the world crisis by means of wisdom. Wisdom from your teachers, wisdom from scripture, from the text, wisdom from your experience, from your insight, so that we can find the proper strategies to deal with crisis. So, we may like to listen to your quotations from Bibles, from Al-Quran, from Tripitaka, from any source, and interpretation of your master, teacher, so that we can see the total picture of wisdom. What I mean by wisdom is, in Buddhism, it's panya. Panya, or wisdom, defined as ability to realize inner qualities and relationship that is inside. When you have insight into the true nature of things, that is one aspect of panya, it pierces through the superficial clothes to the inner, to the core of the truth. That is one aspect of Panya or wisdom. Another thing is to see the connection of cause and effect, past, present, and future, so that you can predict your future event by means of Panya, so that you can have a prevention of the world crisis. So when we focus on using Panya or wisdom to solve the world crisis, it means we adopt a holistic approach to the problems. It is not from one particular angle that we want to deal with it. We have to look around to see the root cause of the problem, how to deal with it. In our tradition, it is called Paticca Samuppada. Paticca Samuppada is very important concept in Buddhism, Theravada and Mahayana. It translated as dependent origination. This law of dependent origination can be summarized as: if A exists, B exists. If A ceases to exist, B also ceases to exist. If B representing world crisis, it comes from A. Because of A, you have a crisis. That is, in this formula, if A, then B. If not A, then not B. This is Paticca Samuppada formula. How we apply this formula to solve the world crisis? This is example for you, so that you can pull up your wisdom from your tradition, from science together. The Four Noble Truths, starting from dukkha is B, crisis. We recognize that there is a world crisis, there is dukkha or suffering. It's B. B comes from A, that is samudaya, is a cause of crisis. How can we solve the crisis? It is possible. We create hope, expectation together, hope for a better world. When you talk of we come together to make a better world, it is the third truth, Nirodha. Possibility of reaching the goal. The goal is there, the better world without crisis, without number one, by eradicating number two. But how? That is practice. Number four, Magga, is a path, is a way, is a method. Actionable step leading to cessation of crisis. That is action. After we reach the goal, we aim at the goal, we work together in harmony to realize the goal by means of Magga method. And that's why we need your contribution from your tradition. So that is number one, wisdom. Number two is cooperation to compassion. Although you have wisdom, you have everything in your stockpile, but you may be content with what you have. So what stimulates or moves you to come to this platform to work together? Because of your mind, empathy, compassion. You avoid making war because your mind is full of compassion or mercy. So in the preamble of your UNESCO Constitution, it said, since wars begin in the minds of men, it is in the minds of men that the defense of peace must be constructed. So religious practice, religious teaching pave the way for peace by developing mind. Virtue is in our mind. So in the world today, they talk about compassion, develop compassion through meditation, mindfulness, sati, even pray or chanting together. This is the method that we are going to present and work together, pray together in spirit of harmony. Like in the morning, what is it that show in Singapore? They have common prayer. Something like that we meditate, we develop mindfulness, pray together to purify our mind of greed, hatred, and ignorance, which is the cause of different conflicts. You know, in 2014, Time magazine put it in the cover. It's called Mindful Revolution. When in the Western world, they turn to practicing mindfulness. Mindfulness comes from different traditions, not only Buddhism, in Hinduism, yoga, TM, anything. So if the word practice mindfulness, you see how to purify the mind of bad element, and that is religious practice can help to prevent world crisis. I think the most important is harmony in action. Once we discover or we find the solution, how to arrive at the goal to solve the world crisis. It is said in Pali, Sukha Sanghasa Samakhi, unity of the group is happiness. If we work together as a like-minded people, then that will lead to making up projects of the same purpose. In your declaration, you must find some project of the same purpose to eradicate suffering due to some issue of world crisis. If you like to deal with economic crisis or climate change or even war and conflict, that is, we forget our differences, quote from the wisdom from our text, from our teacher, that motivate people to purify their mind and work together towards the goal. That would be fruitful for this platform. For example, in the year 2000, I was one of 1,000 religious and spiritual leaders met at the United Nations in New York. Although that meeting may be forgotten nowadays, but one thing that I have never forgotten is the declaration in one sentence: no more war in the name of religion. This is very strong statement, echo in my mind. Although after this year there was a conflict in the south of Thailand, we the Buddhists, the majority, confirm this statement. Religion should not be abused to wage war or start conflict. We the Buddhists will not allow Buddhism to be a tool of the conflict by politicians. They may have a political agenda in their mind, but don't drag religion, Buddhism, or other religion into the field of conflict. We still maintain this position in Thailand. So our voice representing soft power, not hard power. Religious leaders do not have armies to maintain its position, but because of our belief system, our followers, our Dhamma, our culture, we can assert our soft power to attract people to the field of peace, culture of peace, not culture of war. That is our, I think, our power. And we have to realize this power. And this power cannot be used alone. We have to come together, voice our concern, our strategy, then it becomes soft power to be aware by those who want to start conflict. For example, last month, the Secretary General of the Organization of Islamic Cooperation, he is Secretary General of Muslim country, 57 Muslim country, visit Thailand. And he paid a personal visit to my temple. I invite religious leaders for the discussion how to maintain our religious values to maintain peace in our land. So why they come to my temple? Because of our soft power. During the Vesak celebration, your Prime Minister paid a visit to my temple. Prime Minister of Sri Lanka, the current Prime Minister. It is about the soft power. We represent the voice of conscience so that we spread this message of peace through declaration or whatever that is constructive and it is helpful. In terms of world crisis, I believe that prevention sometimes is better than cure. Prevention of conflict before it arises, prevention of global warming before it becomes it reach tipping point of no return. And if that is very necessary. I show you that one strategy is to contribute our support for the realization of 17 goals for sustainable development. These 17 goals can be summarized and give priority to just 5 P's. You see, 5 P's standing for number 1, people, culture, peace, number 2, economic prosperity. Number 3, planet, that is environment. The foundation of the other 3 P is peace. Without peace, you cannot have human rights. That is for people. You cannot have economic prosperity and you cannot preserve environment. So peace is the foundation of other kinds of sustainable development. But how is that possible? Because of the other P, partnership. Partnership is the key word for the United Nations to realize 16 goals. Partnership is the goal number 17, the last one. If we interpret in our movement, it is about strengthening cooperation between religion and faith using a shared vision for defining that collaborative way forward. So collaboration among religions and faith is a partnership to realize our goal, that is to meet the challenge of world crisis or to realize the goal, achieve the goal of sustainable development. I hope that will be in our agenda. So I myself representing Thailand to participate in the Interfaith Conference on Religions and the Sustainable Development Goals, SDG, in the Vatican before coronavirus spread, the pandemic. I listened to speech given to us by the Pope. I contribute in the interfaith meeting there at the Vatican with the support of the UN body in Geneva. We look forward that all the faith-based organization, FBO, to come forward to support SDG from the point of view of religions and faith. After meeting there, I have a religious dialogue with the Pope in Thailand. See, it means, I end with this statement, no one is big enough to achieve the goals alone. No one is too small to help achieve the goals. No one is capable of solving the world crisis alone. We have to work together in harmony. Thank you very much.